Okay, yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm gonna move back onto the mat here. And so let's start with we're gonna start with some gentle movements that we'll take into a more yoga-based practice because it seems like that's what folks are in the mood for tonight. So I want you to take one ear and one shoulder together and let the sides of your neck stretch as one ear comes up. So uh, I always call this talking on the phone and doing the dishes pose. So you can imagine yourself there at the kitchen sink. Back when we used to hold phones like that, now you would just put it on speaker. All right, so then hold here for a second with your shoulder blades pulling down your back, and then let's just circle the neck just a few times. Checking in, where is your tension? Good, exhale, taking that around, other way, other side. And then keep your hands for a moment anchored on your knees. And then let's just roll our shoulders. So you let the shoulders come up, down, back, around. Excellent. Good. And then let's try one shoulder moving forward, one shoulder moving back. And then you can kind of create the reverse of that. One opposite shoulder moving forward and back. Good. And then let's take that into a little slide of the rib cage. So imagine your hips and your sitting bones are going to stay really anchored, and then you're just going to let their ribs travel side to side. Good. And then from here, we're going to go ahead, let the rib cage move forward and back just a few times. Good. So you're kind of working this into a little cat-cow. Excellent. Good. And really feel the space between the shoulder blades stretch as your head comes down. Very nice. And let's take your two arms up for a moment. Let them push out in front of your chest, and then you'll exhale and reach the arms all the way back behind you. So try that action, the arms moving forward and back, the arms moving up and then back behind you. Good. And we'll take that just a couple more times. And then I want you to create a little reach and pull across the midline of the body. So with one arm, move all the way across and then reach out. Good. Just getting a little shoulder mobility. Good. And let's try that the opposite direction. Sweeping the arm back behind you, taking the arm, stretching across the midline. Good. All right. And then from here, we're going to pause, bring both arms all the way up, and then let the rib cage move around. And then we'll reverse that, let the rib cage move the other way. Good. You can take that to the right, around and up. And then once again to the left, a la izquierda, around and up. Good. Let's bring your hands back behind the head. Open the chest, allow the armpits to stretch. And again, you can make a little slow dance out of this so you get deeper stretch in your chest, especially those of us who are having to look down on phones and digital devices more than normal. Good. So then from here, just let your two legs open. My feet are slightly wider than my sitting bones. And then I'm going to take one elbow, reach across the midline. Inhale, stretch, reach up. Maybe even making that lift up a slight back bend. So you can inhale, let the rib cage rise, and then exhale, come across. We'll inhale, sit up, and exhale, move across. Inhaling as you rise up, inspirando arriba, and then expirando abajo. Very nice. Let's do that to each side one more time. Good. And then from there, inhale, let's sit up all the way nice and tall. And now you can extend your two thigh bones out. So you're in a kind of straddled position here. I'm going to reach towards one rib cage. Inhale, sit tall, reach my rib cage towards a thigh bone. Come all the way back up. Inhale, reach to same ribs to thigh. And you're going to really activate the reach from the hips, stretching all the way out. Let's take that one more time. Very nice. Pause with your arms up, circling the arms. They might feel a little bit heavy, but that's okay. Then we'll circle them in the opposite direction. Good, then we're gonna let one arm move forward, one arm move back, and then change that direction. Good. 2 and 1. Excellent. So now from here, place your hands under your shoulder blades for just a moment. And then you'll take one hand in front of the pelvis and then twist. So drop the thighs into the floor, open, reach the chest up, and make a deep twist, allowing the ribs, the thighs to get a little stretch. We're gonna pass through the center, one hand at the front of the pelvis, one hand in the back. Feel the shoulder blades anchor, and then exhale, twist back behind you, opposite direction. Good, and then from here, let's sit back up forward once again. I'm gonna slide my 2 legs to the short edge of my mat, and then this is my left side facing the mat. So you're gonna inhale, let the sternum move towards your 2 thighs, and then exhale, undulate the back and sit up. So we're trying that a few times. The arms can reach forward, the spine undulates. Inhale, we'll stretch, come forward. Exhale, pull the belly in. Good, couple more. Reaching forward. Exhale, coming back. Last time, inhale, moving forward, and exhale, coming back. Good. Let's sit up nice and tall, and now you're gonna let your spine move down towards the floor, bone by bone. Inhale, allow the arms to sweep. Good, you can even sweep them around a few times here on the floor, and then we're gonna sweep in the opposite direction. And then let's exhale and ride the breath all the way back up to a seated position. This time the arms can travel behind you. Let the palms come, make contact. Let the top of the head drop between your shin bones. Shaking the head no. Nodding the head yes. And then inhaling, using a big breath to sit up. This time we'll exhale and come down towards the floor. Abdomen pulls really deep. The arms can stay lifted. Good. So now pause. Left arm, right leg are gonna lift together and lower together. So we'll take that a few rounds, just feeling that cross patterning, waking up in the abdomen. Good. As one leg rises up. Good. Still moving slowly, still moving gently. So you're letting our bodies really warm up into this movement. Let's pause with the right arm up, left arm up, and then reach those limbs out and in a few times again. Belly stays strong, stays connected as you move. Excellent. Let's change the position. And then the right arm, left leg are gonna reach out and in together. Again, feeling the belly knitted, strong, stable. Good. Let's take that one more time. And let's pause with that arm out, pause with the legs out, and then exhale, lift your head and chest. Good, so just taking the gaze to the belly for a moment. Now you can bring your palms, fingertips together, and we're gonna open and close the limbs. Just a few times with your head and chest lifted. Here we go, we'll take 3, and open, and 2, good, and open. Now this time, pause with the legs in, lowering your head and chest. Press your elbows into the floor, take your feet and tap in. So we're gonna try a lift and then lower. Bring all of those bones a little closer to the floor. Good, elbows pull in, toes tap. Again, just creating a little lightness in your joints. Good. And then let's pause with your elbows in, your feet to the floor. Let the pelvis rise up, and then we're gonna take arms alongside the ears. Exhale, push in and lift. So you're floating the bones of the back down and up from the floor. We're going vertebra by vertebra, vertebra por vertebra. Good, and we're pressing the tailbone down towards the heels. Exhale, creating a lift. Excellent. Let's do that one more time. And then I want you to hold with the pelvis lifted. See about lifting your right leg, pointing, flexing the foot, circling the ankle. Good. We'll exhale, allow that leg to come down. Push in through the right foot, lifting the left point, and flex here just a few times, and then again, circle the ankle, circle the other way, bending the knees, good, pushing through the feet one more time. This time, let the palms come together underneath you as you open and lift the chest. And we'll push the sides of the hands here into the floor for just a moment. Good. And then we'll exhale, allow that to release, bring your hands onto the shins, and then you'll exhale, lift the head and chest again, one more time. This time, sweep the arms alongside the ears, take the two legs out. Good, let's reverse that. So arms to your sides, arms out, and then the legs extend. Let's do that a couple more times. Arms, and then legs reach together. You really want to keep this out of the neck. Good, arms coming up as the legs reach out. Last time here, limbs. There they go. Exhale. Let the right leg come to your two hands. Let the left leg lower down. Check in with your neck. We'll take it side to side. Shoulder blades once again pulling down the back. Now you can set the left leg on the floor. Open the arms to a T shape. And then let the leg move to the right and then to the left with the rest of the body staying really, really anchored, right? So you're just feeling the flow. And what this should tell you is kind of the range of motion of your femur bone in your hip socket. So I want you to keep this action as you let the leg slowly lower. So you're just kind of zigzagging down, zigzagging back up, feeling your hip and how your hip moves here. Try that just a couple more times. Also feeling your core firing in and up as the leg moves closer to the floor. Let's pause with this leg lifted. Now take it across the midline once again and deeply stretch the outer leg, kind of where your IT band is. Good. And then let that leg stretch, move out and away from you, feeling a big stretch across your inner thigh. Good. Let's exhale, bring the leg back to center, and then we're going to flutter the legs. So you're going to let one leg come up, one leg come down, and feel your belly zipped, right? From the navel, through the hips, through the pelvis. Good. And then from here, let's take a little pause, letting your right leg stay down, and then your belly is going to pull in. Now this time, the left leg is going to zigzag kind of across the body. Start at one consistent height, and then slowly let that leg travel down and up a few times, really paying attention to when and where the belly fires. Okay, let's do a down one more time. Good, and then we're gonna pause. Let the left leg travel to the outside of the body, and again, shoulder blades move down the back. A big breath. Exhale, release. Let the left leg move to the outside of the mat here, stretching the heel up slightly so you really feel that through the inner thigh. Exhale, the leg comes up. Now we're going to take two legs up, two arms up, and then let's try a few sweeps of arms and legs together. First, moving out, down, around, and up. Good. And then let's reverse that. So now the limbs are going to move towards the midline first, out and away. Good. Let's take a little pause. Bend the left knee. Place that foot on the floor. Right ankle moves to the left thigh. Exhale, pull the pelvis now down and up. So the arms can stretch alongside the ears. Then we'll pull up and then let the bones of the back settle back into the floor. So belly in, bones retire into the floor there, and then right back down and up. Good. Let's take this one more time. And then I want you to pause with the pelvis down. Place the hands behind your head. Exhale, lift the head and chest as you extend the left shin. And let's just take that a few times. Good. So the shin bone comes up, the belly still really pulls in. Let's do that one more time. And then from here, pause with the head still lifted. You can bend that shin bone and now stretch the opposite hip. And once again, check in with your neck. Make sure we're released, we're relaxed. Good. And then we're gonna try all that on the other side. So now you'll take your left ankle to your right thigh, take your two arms up, exhale, push into the right heel. As the pelvis rises up, arms come alongside the ears. So this gives us an opportunity to stretch, engage our core, create a little blood flow, a little circulation, a little movement. And then the final challenge is, can you relax? Can you work? Can you feel your body working and relax at the same time? I don't know. Here we go. So now I want us to pause with the pelvis down. Let the right shin extend as the head lifts, and then we'll come right back down to the floor. So take this just a few times, the shin bone and the head and chest lifting, and you feel that deep engagement through the abdomen as you lift. Good. Let's try one more. And after our last round here, go ahead, bend the extended shin, take the hand to the thigh, lift the head and chest up a hair more, and then let your head come back down to the floor once again. Do a little neck check and really feel the hips do their stretching. Excellent. So I want you to try a little challenge that will be good for all people who love Pilates and all people who love yoga. So I want you to start with your knees bent right over your chest, and then you're going to just lift your tailbone up off of the floor. So all you have to do here is really push the arms down as you let the tailbone come up to 3 and then take it down. So it's just a scoop of the abdomen, allows you to lift. Good, and now I want you to try that same thing, but you're gonna take your hands to your thighs here and push thighs to hands, hands to thighs, and just feel the belly engage. Good, and if that's feeling strong, then go ahead, take your arms back down to the floor and try lifting the pelvis down and up. Good. Let's give this a little hold here on top with just your arms pressing into the floor, tailbone rising up. And then from here, extend your two legs, arms pull together, arms and legs lower, and then exhale, come up. Let's try 5 of these. So arms and legs, lifting and lowering. Watch your navel as the limbs move away from you so you really feel the belly deep, strong, connected. Let's do one more. Good. And then from here, lifting your head and chest. Good. Sweeping the hands back behind the head. A few little pulses at the abdomen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then move your ribs to the right, pulsing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Moving the rib cage to the left, pulsing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the center, legs pull in, hands to the outsides of your feet, and you'll come right back down into the floor. Just rocking the hips, lado y lado. Good, so now I want you to take your hands to the outsides of the ankles, afuera de los tobillos, and then let's sit up. Nos sentamos arriba. Good, so while you're up, try just an extension of one leg. Oh, big stretch. Feel a little engagement through the bicep, helping you create some resistance as you extend. Very nice. Exhale back to the center. Scoop, tip yourself back on the sits bones. We'll rock. And we'll exhale, come up. You'll let the right leg extend. And right back down. You'll let the left leg extend. Then right back down. You'll take a tip back with the pelvis, rocking onto this shoulder blades, then coming all the way up. So now, does it feel nice? Does it feel safe to extend both legs? Feeling your chest stay open, a reach, and then we'll exhale, place both feet on the floor, place both palms under your shoulders. Let the knees open and let your hips stretch up. Good. And then let's exhale, allow those bones to come down. Can you extend the two legs all the way? Good, with your forearms here pressed into the floor and then opening the legs. Another big stretch through the pelvis. Good, closing the legs, feet to the floor. This time your kneecaps pulling parallel. Push the forearms into the mat. Let the pelvis rise up. Give this a few breaths. Good. We'll exhale, release. Allow it to come down, lifting the 2 feet. Extend the legs over to the right. And then again, let the legs just float here together, down and up a few times. Good. Folding at the knees, taking the legs to the left, and then again, down and up just a few times. Beautiful. Keeping the hips steady so the femur bones are coming down and up with control. Siempre. Good. And then right back through the center. Exhale, see about the feet moving to the floor, and exhale, coming up. So now I'm going to just turn back towards the computer screen and now find myself in all fours. So in this all fours position, turn the tops of your feet down. Exhale, reach the hips, pelvis, thighs back. And then we're going to exhale, move the hips forward. So think about using the exhale to find your range of motion, how deeply you want to travel back. And then another exhale to engage with your belly. Encontrar los músculos de los abdominales. Good. As you come down and up just a few times. Good. So really watch. You can always think about this as moving your tailbone. So every bit of movement is the result of moving your tailbone back and then moving your tailbone forward, right? So if you have that one place you're thinking you're moving from, often it adds a kind of clarity to your movement. So now vamos a hacer círculos. Let's make circles, letting your tailbone travel all the way around. Good, and then vamos a hacerlo otra dirección. So you're going to take that the other way. And now if you're feeling very advanced, you can spell your middle name backwards with your tailbone. Good, can you do it? All right, and then from there, let's move the tailbone all the way back. Press the arms here into the floor. Let the head come down. And you can let the head here just float an inch above the floor. Now, if it feels nice, go ahead and extend. I'm extending my left leg. And I'm going to bend the knee and let that hip stretch all the way back behind me. Exhale, lengthen the leg right back up. Lowering my 2 knees. Take a stretch up. Allow the sternum to rise up. Exhale, press the elbows into the floor. Lift the hips, lift the pelvis. Right leg rises. It comes fully all the way up, 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 up. Find your full extension through the knee joint. Relaxing your neck. And then once that knee is all the way over the hip, then let the shin bone float back behind you. Just a breath. Little blood flow there. Exhale, bringing the foot back down to the floor. Now this time stretch your pelvis. Let it come down to the mat. And place your 2 hands, las manos, al lado de las orejas. You want to say hello, Brahman? Después de terminar la clase, tú puedes decir hola, hola a todo el mundo, okay? All right. Oh, that's the baby behind the curtain. So I want you to try pushing, oh, tragedy. All right, let's try pushing your hands down and really actively using that strength to help you rise up. And then let's hold this next round down and then try pulling your right arm. You're gonna place it right where it was and then pull the arm back. Good, really feel the left side doing some work, creating some stability here. Good. And then let that right hand come down. Let the left arm just reach and tap back behind you. Good. So I'm like letting the thumb come to my shoulder. Good. And then from here all the way, letting your throat stretch back up. And then exhale, the head comes down. Take your two hands and turn them towards one another. And then you're going to exhale, lift the legs up off of the floor. Good. And then let's try this. I want you to cross at your ankles. This is my right ankle crossed over my left. And then create a little resistance, create some tension between the shin bones. And then let the knees fold forward and back. So you're almost kind of like leg wrestling yourself a little bit. It works the hamstrings. Good. So then from here, keep the legs folded back in this configuration. Lift your head and chest up towards your heels. Good. Let's change the stack of the hands. Change the cross of the legs. Same thing, create a little leg wrestle. So you should feel particularly, there's 3 parts to your hamstring, right? And so when you've crossed your legs in this configuration, you're working the inner and the outer hamstring. Same thing, it kind of targets the gluteus minimus and gluteus medius instead of so much glute all the time. So now hold that little bend and then pushing with your hands, exhale, come up. Let that abdomen really stretch. So that's in a big way what back bends are for, is that deep, deep stretch of the abdomen. Good, so the more the heels reach back towards the body, the more you'll stretch your knees. And then let the throat rise all the way up. And then exhale, let's let all of that lower right back down. Now this time, let's pull your heels together, your toes apart, and then we'll push the pelvis. So push the pelvis into the floor and then let the heels rise up. And then let the heels come away from the body and then back towards the body, keeping the heels connected. Maybe try about 10 of these. Good. Good, and then from here, let's set the knees down, pushing the hands. Once again, we'll come all the way up. Good. And check in with your neck, being released, being gentle. Exhale, we'll lower back down, extend your leg furthest from the computer screen, extend that arm furthest from the computer screen. You could even lift them a few times, just saying hello. And then let's roll ourselves onto that side. Take your top arm onto the bottom arm, and then I want you to, with your top leg, draw some rainbows here. So, un arco iris. Yes, my darling, I'm sorry, we're doing classe. Oh, that is sad. Good, so now from here, let's go ahead and hold that top leg just down into the floor, and then I want you to let the bottom leg lift up. Take your top hand, bottom foot, let them reach towards each other just a few times. Top arm, bottom leg, kind of working, again, the hamstring, working the inner thigh. And then let's give this a little pause. Maybe the hand and foot come together and you can get a stretch of that bottom quadricep. Good, and if you wanted to try working the opposite hamstring, you would let this foot come down and up from the floor. No small thing here. All right, and then let's let this hand rest, reach over that side. And then you're gonna let top hand and foot stay together. Top hand, your bottom hand is gonna come to the thigh. Continue to stretch. Or if you want a deeper stretch, reach the leg out and bring your fingertips toward your toes. So you've sort of bound yourself up, if you can see. Opposite hand and foot, deep stretch. Estirando profundamente. Good. And then from here, let's unfold all of that. Find yourself back in the little tree pose. And then I'm going to push and lift and switch sides. So we're going to begin. This is now my right arm, maybe it's your left arm, two arms together here. And then I'm going to start drawing the rainbow with my top leg. So the toe taps into the floor behind my front foot and then back behind my bottom foot. Good. And you're trying to aim for smooth, fluid movement of the femur in the hip socket. Good. So now let's pause with that leg forward for a moment. And now the bottom foot and top hand are going to reach back behind you. So it's really nice to do movement where you actually can't see yourself do it. Kind of trains a part of your brain that has better spatial awareness. So it's a nice thing to be good at doing. So let's pause with that hand and foot and maybe let them stretch together. Let the top elbow come up. And now, again, stretch the back of the arm. And now this top foot can tap into the floor if you're feeling balanced, if you're feeling anchored. Good work for the hamstring. And then the external rotators. Good, all the things, so many things to feel here. So then bend your top knee, and then the hand is gonna move toward it. Oh, and you're gonna stretch back behind you. And then if you want to deepen the stretch, you're going to take opposite hand to foot. So you're bound that way on both sides. So once I'm here in esta posición, I can move my opposite scapula down to the floor. And you can even flow with that, just that small movement. Good. All right, and then I'm going to exhale. Bring myself back through this fallen mountain pose. And then I'm back on my belly, my head's facing the other way. So let's try this. Walk your elbows under your shoulders, curl your 10 toes underneath you, and a few times lift the knees. So just feel right there, base of the quadriceps, getting some good work. Good. And then let's hold the knees down, and I want you to about 10 times just scoop the hips and pelvis up. So feel what has to work when you take these little actions. And 2, and 1. Now setting that down, see what happens if you lift the knees and then lift the hips and pelvis, and just hold this little forearm plank for a few breaths. Good, and then we're gonna melt your 2 knees down, stretch your hips back, push into the hands, push into the feet, and allow the pelvis to rise. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes, yes, yes. And let's slide this blanket just out of the way. And we'll inhale, lift your left leg all the way up. Big stretch, bend the knee. We've been here before. Exhale, pull the foot between your 2 hands. Plant the back heel. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend the knee. So try this a few times. You'll let the arms travel out to the sides as your front knee bends, as your back knee straightens. Good. And then let's try opposite elbow, reaching across your body. Trying this just a few times. Inhaling up, exhale, allowing that to bend. Inhale up, exhale, bend. Good. Let's hold that little twist here. Again, continuing to open your chest. Good. Then we're going to slide the hand down the leg. Big stretch. Now let's try walking your 2 hands between your 2 legs. Good. And then I'm gonna come take a little Parsvottanasana on the other side. So I'm stretching, stretching. Good, and then from here, just walk my right foot back. And now I'm in a down dog on the other side. So the right leg is gonna lift this time. Bend the knee. Good, and then you're gonna place the foot between your two hands. Inhale, and then exhale, bend. Exhaling to bend. Good, arms moving wide. Exhaling as you bend. All right, and then from here, opposite elbow reaches towards the knee, and then we straighten all of our limbs. Opposite elbow to knee, reach, reach, reach. A few more rounds. Good. And then let's pause here for a moment. Good, and then you'll slide the hand down the leg. Again, pausing here for just a moment. And then bringing that hand to the inside. Let's turn ourselves back through, around, and onto the other side, taking a little Parsvottanasana here. Allowing the neck to continue to release, relajando el cuello siempre. Good, and then this left foot, estiramos atrás, stretch your left leg back. Good, so now from here, another big stretch, and then you'll bend the two knees, and then lightly hop your feet. Maybe it takes you a few times. To your two hands, sweep the arms back behind you, inhale, come up, and exhale, float down. So we'll do this a few rounds. The arms can reach back. We'll exhale, come up. Arms reaching back. Exhale, rising up. Arms reaching back. Exhaling up. Good. And then from here, let the hands go ahead. Continue to travel towards the floor. You can bend your knees a few times. Bend and straighten. And then make this 3 little light hops, reaching your legs all the way behind you. Good, so now you've moved into a plank pose. From your plank, you can exhale, allow the pelvis to come up. This time the right leg is gonna lift, bend the knee, place the foot in between your two hands, and then we'll spiral our arms up into a warrior 2 position. So I want you to reach your ribs away from your front knee or away from the right knee as you allow it to bend. Good, and we'll take that again just a few times. Good, so now we're gonna hold a bend in that knee, open the arms and circle the arms. Good, circle the arms in the opposite direction. And now, same elbow to knee, you're gonna come down and reach. Good, we'll come down and reach. Come down and reach. So that one more time, holding down here. And then you can exhale, let the hand move to the inner leg, opening your chest. And then let's make this a straightening of your bottom knee. So you've moved into a little Trikonasana pose, the best yoga pose ever of all time. Good, then the top hand moves to the hip. You can take your bottom hand to the ankle, to your tobillo here, step weight into that foot. Oh, and then come right over your lamp from IKEA and just stretch, stretch, stretch. I feel like this should be on, you know, a website somewhere. Should be an advertisement or something. All right, exhale, go ahead, let that leg come all the way down. And then you'll push your weight back. I'm gonna turn my right toes in. Take Padottanasana. Good, now I'm gonna turn towards the opposite toes. Good. And then from here, step my back foot in, reaching all the way up. We're gonna do that sequence. I'm now facing the opposite side. So the arms can move out as the thighs move back. Try this with me, just a few rounds. Exhale, pushing the weight into your feet, gliding back up. Good. Let's do one more time. And then we're gonna exhale, let the arms come forward, thighs move back, lightly melting your weight, right? Through the toes, through the legs. Good. And then from here, we're gonna hold our weight in the floor, hop the feet back. 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Exhale, find a down dog. Good. And this stretch, really push back with the arms. And now the left leg is gonna rise up. The knee is gonna bend. It's gonna stretch all the way. And then I'm gonna place the foot between my two hands, turn my back toes out. And then estiramos arriba. You're gonna come all the way up. Good. So now reach the ribs away from the knee as it bends. Arms and legs kind of moving in opposition here. Good. 2 and 1. So now the knee is gonna bend and you're gonna let the same arm come down towards the thigh. Good, as the knee bends. Good. And then we're gonna pause with the knee bent, circling the arms in a little warrior 2. So keeping the blood flow. Good. And then circling the arms in the opposite direction. Good, and we're gonna pause with the arms and then let your ribs start to move down. Good, taking yourself into Utthita Hasta Parsva Konasana. Good, and now Utthita Hasta Trikonasana. You're gonna reach the thigh bone all the way back. Check in with your toes. Check in with your top hand. Staying released through the neck. Relajando por el cuello. And then your top hand to the hip. And then from here, let's exhale. Step that foot back in towards your body. Walk the left hand out. And then exhale, rise all the way up. Big balance. Good. And Trikonasana. And then we'll exhale, set the leg down. Turn all the toes in. And come forward into a Padottanasana. Good. In your Padottanasana, you can look up for a moment, bend one knee, and then the other. Taking that just a few times, allowing your hips to release. Good. As the knee bends, you could even try taking one arm up. But this looks like a move from the musical Cats. So just go with that. Not the new movie, I haven't seen it. I have heard it's phenomenal. Good, all right, and then from here, let's go ahead, let the top of the head come right back down. I'm now gonna step my left foot to my right. Good, and then from here, just exhale, find yourself all the way standing. Good, so now let's try, let me do a little time check. Everything's perfect, never perfecter. So now picture, this is my right leg. I'm gonna balance on it first. I'm gonna take my left hand to my inner leg and just balance for a moment. And then if it feels comfortable, I'll grab onto the big toes. And then exhale, extend the leg. And just give this extension of my leg 5 breaths. Good, and then release. We'll try that on the other side. Right arm is now gonna pull to the inner right leg. I'm gonna grab on and exhale, extend 5 breaths. Good. Releasing the leg, bringing it right back down. So now I'm going to turn my left toes all the way up. Really feel the external rotation of the leg. Exhale, bring my foot to my thigh. And just pause for a moment in Vrikshasana. Little tree pose. Perhaps the arms can travel all the way up as you actively push the foot, the thigh, all the way together. And then we'll allow the arms to release, allow the leg to float right back down. All right, let's try that on the other side. The leg lifts, the foot moves to the thigh, the knee joint moves out as the two hips come to stabilize in the center. Arms can float out and up. Very nice. Good, we'll release the arms. We'll exhale, release the leg. Now I'm going to turn this leg out. Bring the foot to the thigh. Good, so this is again my left leg. Maybe it's your right, and you'll come and just stretch all the way over. Good, I'm going to exhale, release, extend the knee fully, set it right down. Good, so now my right thigh, my right ankle to the left thigh. Good, the palms could be together, wherever is comfortable for you. Kind of explore maybe a little bit with your arms. Whoa. And then exhale, bringing yourself up, extending the leg, taking a little ring out with your hips, maybe taking that all the way the other way. One more little pose of external rotation here. Anchor weight in one foot, lift the opposite, hand to the big toe, and now the leg is going to extend to the side, perhaps also the opposite arm extends. And then you can exhale and allow that to release. Very beautiful. Good work, y'all. Está muy bien. All right, same thing. Lifting the leg, maybe grabbing onto the big toe, maybe extending this leg fully, completely pulling back with the upper arm. Engagement through both inner thighs. One inner thigh, the extended leg, inner thighs moving out, bottom inner thighs moving in. Exhale, release, allow that to go completely, fully, and we should have time here. Just one last little standing pose, right and left. I'm going to take weight into my right foot, and then exhale, extend my back leg. This is my left leg now. Good, maybe float with the arms just a hair. Good. And then once again, trying that on the other side. I'm now going to step into my left leg, allow my right leg to reach behind me, and then exhale, put that weight there as you come forward. Good, and then from there, we'll slowly bring that leg back in. Arms can float up, tailbone can float down. And then we'll exhale. Let the weight of your body just return to the floor in a way that feels comfortable for you. Go ahead, let the legs travel now side to side just a few times. A little release, relajando, relajando. La espalda. Good, and now the legs can rest on one side. Take your gaze in the opposite direction. We'll lift your two legs. Take the knees one direction. Take your gaze in the opposite. And then once again, bringing your two legs Back up. Let's set the feet on the floor. Walk the two legs out. Then you can take your hands here to your eyes. And just rest your hands on your face here for a moment. Letting a little darkness set in under your eyelids. Feeling your eyes get steady, estable in your eye sockets. And then allow your hands to rest on your abdomen, and for a moment we'll just feel and connect with our breathing. Now let your palms come to face up, and just take a few more breaths, feeling the full expanse of your rib cage, your heart, your lungs. And then slowly, when you feel ready, just begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And then you can circle the ankles and the wrists. And take your head side to side. Take the arms overhead now. Knees in over your chest. Now we can roll to one side. Press up with our arms. And we'll bring las palmas juntas. Adelante del pecho. All right, everybody, your practice is a gift. Thank you very much. Enjoy, disfruta el resto de noche. Namaste.
Namaste.
Muy bien.
You.